Hi, and welcome to Wednesday. Today I'm going to be reading letters to you that I got from people that believe they have negative energy, a curse on them. So let me start, and then at the end of the questions, I'll give some suggestions on what you can do. This one is from Vicky in Los Angeles. Marianne, at this point, it appears we have maybe a generational curse on the males in the family, all except my dad, who I was able to revive, so he did not technically die, meet an untimely end, often at an early age or under horrific circumstances, murder. Most recently, my nephew died. He was living with my parents as his dad had died when he was 2. I'm wondering if my parents' grief is holding him in the house. I've had a few mediums attempt but failed to send him to the light, maybe in part due to him being only 19 when he died. The atmosphere in my parents' house is heavy. Things go missing all the time. After the full moon last week, it was particularly strong. TV turns on and off. Uh, there was smoking, and nobody smokes. Things were missing, etc. Okay, because all the males seem to have untimely accidents or deaths, you could be right. There could be a generational curse on the males. Um, you're sort of right. At 19, you're like you said, your nephew died when he was 19. Uh, there's a very good chance he did not cross over because who wants to be dead at 19? So that's a really good possibility also. The things that are going wrong in the house would not be from negative energy. That would definitely be from an earthbound spirit. What I'm curious to know or figure out is why your nephew uh, would hang out with your parents and cause problems. If your parents took care of him since the age of 2, that really doesn't make any sense. You really, excuse me, are a good candidate for to come on Zoom and let's see what the heck is going on. If nothing else, call and leave a message. This one is from Jane. My question, for how long and how often do I have to burn a white candle to remove negative energy from around me, my pets, and my house? How long does the effect of burning the white candle last, or should this be an ongoing process? I am going to purchase a Quincy charm to wear, so I know that will be 100% of added protection, but I still would like to know about the white candle. I'm not exactly sure where you got this white candle idea as being a form of protection. No, that's not what that does. Once a house is cleared and the negative energy is removed or the ghost is gone, um, the energy from those two things will still be in the house. It's like if there is dust on your table and you take a dust rag and you dust, and then you pick that rag up and you shake it in the air, dust particles are going to fall out. Well, there's still going to be earthbound spirit and negative energy in the house. If you do nothing, it will all go away in about a week to 10 days. You could smudge. That would make all of that go away faster. Or you could burn candles, white candles. And that's not to it's to get rid of the residue, not get rid of the ghost or the negative energy. And unfortunately, the trick to candles is you light them and they've got to go the whole way down. You can't, oh, I'm going to the store, I'll blow the candle out, come home and relight it. Nope. It's got to be started 7-day candles work the best. If you're lucky, you'll get 5.5, 6 days out of them. But I would say that if you have a big soup pot, put the lit candle in a soup pot, put the pot inside of your fireplace, close it up, shut the door, let it go. If the candle breaks, it's in the pot. You don't have a fireplace, put the candle in a big soup pot, put it in the stationary tub of the house, so that, again, if something would happen and the jar would break, the glass would break around the candle, you're not going to burn your house down. But absolutely, that does not remove it. It just takes care or helps with the residue. So don't worry about the candles. This one is from the Deacon in Florida. The Deacon. Okay. I am the equivalent of an associate pastor in a small church in Florida. Unfortunately, Clearwater is also one of the 2 headquarters of the Church of Scientology. I don't know how much you may or may not know about this organization, but to me, they seem to be an Americanized version of homegrown Nazism with a religious face all mixed up with dark arts. Because I chose to oppose their attempt to take over our church, I was put on their hit list. For about 5 years, my life was awful. Only recently has some normalcy returned. I strongly believe that they may have used various curses against me. How can I tell? I called someone here in Florida that can remove negative energy. They said no. They already got in trouble with the Scientology church. And the Scientology church told this particular person that if they ever try to remove negative energy off of anybody and they hear about it, that they would be sorry. Wow. Okay. I, of course, have heard of the Scientology church. I personally have nothing, I've never done anything personal with them that I know of. I know that from some of the specials that have been on television that they apparently do not like when somebody leaves their organization, and they really try their darndest to get them back. I'm going to keep watching this. At the end of this, I will tell you different things that you can try to take this negative energy off yourself. You can call me, you can come on Zoom. That I'm not afraid. I mean, they're not going to do anything to me. Just if you want to find that out, give me a call. This one is from Michigan, and it's from David. I heard you on the radio on Coast to Coast Saturday morning, and you struck a nerve. I'm at my wits' ends. I like my life. I was never rich, but I was never poor. Something happened, and then things never have been the same. I always used to say to myself, I may be broke, but I am not poor. Well, now I feel very poor. My personal life aside, which has been taken a dive, divorce, being abandoned by all my friends. I am a landscape contractor and used to bill $400,000 a year. These days, I'm lucky if I top $100,000. I won't waste your time with my sob story, but you mentioned curses can be removed. I feel cursed and simply don't know what to do. On the radio, you mentioned that you cover curses in one of your books. The only thing I caught was the only friend can remove the curse. I didn't get the name in which your book you described that in, but I would appreciate some guidance now. Yes, I will show you the book at the end of this, and there's absolutely no reason why you cannot have this negative energy removed from you. You can't, you're right, you cannot do it to yourself. You have to have a friend do the little ceremony on you, but it will absolutely work 100%. Okay. This one is a suicide. I got this one in at the last minute, and this is from Candy, and Indiana. My fiance committed suicide. Since then, there have been a few strange occurrences in our home. The dog stares at the wall in our bedroom. The dog refuses to go to the backyard and go to the bathroom. I hear the sound of keys in the door. The dog hears it and looks also. This past week, I took a picture of the dog in the hallway with the white streak appearing in every picture. The streak goes from a high on the left across to the right of the hall and ends pointing at his ashes and picture on the table. There have been instances of his phone disappearing for over a week, and then reappearing in the floorboard of my car. I woke up to someone saying my name clearly. His suicide was completely unexpected, and I have so many questions. He was 4 times the legal limit intoxicated at the time of his death. I wonder if he is trying to communicate with me as to why or what he regrets doing it. I was given your name. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, there's a couple things going on here. Yeah, there's a suicide. It's a suicide, and again, you don't say how old he was, but I don't think, he may have thought he was too young to be dead. The second thing is that did he leave a note? You didn't say, and was he intoxicated where that's what he died from? Or did he do it on purpose? There's too many unanswered questions here. And again, you are really good come in on Zoom. Let's see if it's him. You have other questions to ask too. You had him cremated. Is that what he wanted? Is that why? And the picture you described could be an earthbound spirit, absolutely. And seeing that it's pointing to his ashes, that is a possibility that it is him. So, but again, it's too hard to tell. You're going to have to come on Zoom or call and let me see exactly what's going on. And this one is a suicide also, and it says, Dear Marianne, I see shadows and feel coldness from time to time, and I'm sure it's my sister Jenny. I can't tell if she is angry with me or just wants to tell me something. Jenny committed suicide. She hung herself, of all things. She needs help. Please help. And this is from Cassie in Alaska. Again, how do we know it's your sister? Keep this in mind. If either you or the other person has had a dream, of this person that has committed suicide, that means they have crossed over. So maybe they really have crossed over, and this is somebody else that is in your house. Let's not assume that it is your sister. It may not be. Okay, negative energy is put on somebody by live people. Ghosts do not put negative energy on anybody. Live people do. And that includes generational curses. So a live person put a curse on a family member 1, 2, 3 generations back, and it shows up in every generation. So that's absolutely possible. Get When Ghosts Speak. This is the book that you're looking for. The last chapter in this book tells you how to remove negative energy. It tells you how to remove negative energy on a person, on a place, or an object. There is nobody that is listening to this that cannot do this little ceremony that's in this book. Don't even buy it. Go to the library and get it out of the library. Now, you cannot do the little ceremony on yourself, however. It has to be done for you or on you. And that's really important. The other things that you can do is get a squirt bottle, a misting bottle, put some sea salt in it and some water. If you work in a job where there's a tendency to have a lot of ghosts, if you work in a hospital, if you work in an antique store, if you work in a bar where there's alcohol, or if you work in a restaurant or a bar where there's alcohol served, if you work in a dentist's office or are a dentist, have this ready, have it by your door, spray the air, and walk through it so that there's a mist of sea salt on you. That will put a little bit of a help on you. That will put a little bit of barrier on you. The other thing that you can do is get sea salt, and blessed sea salt even works better, but get sea salt and put a couple tablespoons in a bath and soak in it. And what that will do, if you have negative energy on you, if you had a hard-boiled egg and you cracked it, and it would get fine cracks on it, then you'd have to hit it again to start peeling it. Well, when you take a bath in sea salt water, which by the way is salt baths too, it just makes the water soft, but it'll start putting fine little cracks in the negative energy. So if you do that at least 2 or 3 times a week, that will definitely go toward taking off the negative energy too. And for those of you that don't like to bathe, you'd rather shower, there is blessed sea salt soap that works the same way as if you were soaking in the bathtub. So there's definitely things that you can do. This moaning, oh, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck. I've got a black cloud over my head. I'm a loser. Get over it. Just do some of this stuff and get rid of it. Nobody has to have negative energy on them. And it affects you so terribly. It can affect health, money, or relationships. So be very, very aware of that. Okay, next week, we are going to be talking about children. All of a sudden, I got a whole bunch of children letters. So we'll be doing that next week. For those of you that are local, the book club is on the 17th of May over at the Goddess Elite at 7 p.m. We are in a Mercury retrograde, started on the 10th, and it goes through June 3rd. And so we've got some stuff going on here. So try to get on a Zoom. The next one is on Monday, May 23rd. This one on this week is already filled. So come on, let's see what you got going on. Thanks and have a good week, and I will talk to you next week.